Hi, my name is Ashley.
And my name is Lucia. Welcome back to another episode of the 76 Cents Pod.
And in this episode, it is a very special episode that we have been waiting for. We are going to be breaking down our opinions on Fearless Taylor's version since it just came out like last week. So let's jump right in. Lucia.
Yeah, let's do it. We were going to have a guest, but she couldn't make it. But anyways, I wanted to start us off by just having us sort of give a disclaimer, first of all. I know a lot of people don't like Taylor Swift, and that is fine. I'm not trying to judge your interests, but a lot of reasons that people don't like her are just stupid sometimes. So if that's the case, well, that's kind of your problem. But if you just don't like her because you don't like her, it's fine. Like, we get it. She's very rich. She's very white. She could be doing a lot of other things, better things with her life, probably. I don't know. But this whole episode is going to be us talking about how much we love her and love her music. So if you're not into that, please listen to something else, because I feel like you're just not going to enjoy it. And without further ado, let's talk about how we became fans of her. How about, want to go first, Ashley?
Sure. Well, I feel like I've always been a Taylor Swift fan since like I can remember, because in elementary school like is when she started becoming popular, and so her songs would be on the radio and like everyone would listen to her songs and we would all like sing them at school. And my favorite song in third grade was You Belong With Me, and like let me tell you, those music videos, everyone was watching them. Like my whole YouTube history was just like music videos, and it was great. Well, music videos and like stupid other videos that we used to watch in like the 2000s, but it's fine. But yeah, so I don't know. I've always liked Taylor Swift. And then like even during that little hiatus where some people were like, oh, she's a liar, because that whole Kim and Kanye like phone call thing, I was like, you know what? I still like Taylor Swift. Oops. So I stuck with her, and that's my Taylor Swift story.
Yeah, what a great intro. I think mine is kind of similar. Like you were saying, the You Belong to Me music video, very iconic. I used to watch it like every single day, and all the other ones, Picture to Burn, oh, another classic. But then I really remember when she released Red, and I bought it on I think it was my iPod at the time. That was like the first album of hers that I actually owned, and I'd play it in the car every day. And that's one of the reasons why my dad's favorite song to this day is still We Are Never Getting Back Together. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, that's like the only song of hers that he still remembers and knows. But he's like, every time I go in a car and I'm like, should I play music? He's like, yeah, put on that We Are Never Getting Back Together song. I'm like, okay. But yeah, and then after that, I realized how much I really enjoyed her music. Like, before I was just like, okay, she's popular and famous, but then I was like, no, actually, like, these are bangers, and never went back from there. Yeah, during the hiatus, like you said, it was just, we were just kind of sitting back like, oh, what's going on? But I was still jamming. Loved Reputation, loved Lover, love it here, the end. And yeah, here we are. So that being said, what are some of your favorite albums and or songs if you had to choose some?
Yeah, so like you said, like Red was the first album you owned. The first one I owned was Speak Now, because my sister got it for me for like my birthday or something on CD. And you know for a fact I was blasting that in my room. So like anything off of Speak Now, classic. My favorite songs, like if I had to do like favorite songs of like all time, like there's just so many, first of all. But like, let's see, like Taylor Swift, like first album, I would probably say like Tim McGraw is a classic. Like, and then
Yes, we love that one.
off of Fearless, like my original favorites, like when it first came out when I was like in elementary school, were You Belong With Me, Love Story, Fearless, like the obvious ones. And then there's Speak Now. I just can't pick from Speak Now because like every single song on that is a banger. Like, and then Red, the song Red is like actually probably my favorite. And like I Knew You Were Trouble. And then we get into the more modern Taylor Swift, 1989. Let me tell you, every single song on 1989 absolutely slaps. Like, if you have anything bad to say about any track on that album, I will fight you on it. Like, 100%. And then Reputation came out once again. Every song slapped. Lover, almost every song slapped. I will say like there were a few songs I didn't like as much as some other songs on that album, but like most of them, like okay, Cornelia Street, Death by a Thousand Cuts, and Cruel Summer, top tier, right there. And then we get Folklore and Evermore. I was not emotionally prepared for that, but every song took me out. Like I was in tears. Like every song I was like, wow, this is like the artistry is just amazing. So yeah, if you had to ask me my favorite songs, those would be them, pretty much every single song. But it's fine.
Yeah, when I was like, oh, is it feedback? When I was trying to figure out like which ones were my favorite, or if I had to choose, I came up with like a top 5 for each album. But like that's literally so many. Let me just list one from each one. So from Taylor Swift, the debut album, probably also Tim McGraw. That one's just classic. Really just showing her country music roots, her talents. For Fearless, probably White Horse or The Way I Loved You. Classic songs. White Horse, that music video is also very iconic. She's just like crying in a room, but it's funny and it's also dramatic. You
Bro,
should
like
watch it if you haven't.
like when she's sitting against the wall and you're like, this is deep.
Yeah, I was in pain as a child. Speak Now. Just all of them probably, as you said. Hold on, I'm gonna pause for a second. Let this person walk.
Yeah, I feel like I need to do a bracket for like each album. I did this before actually to see, but it was so hard to choose. Like I feel like it would change on my mood, like depending on what I'm like in the mood for. Am I in the mood to cry? Because she's got a lot of those. Am I in the mood to like party? We've got that. Am I in the mood to like completely roast someone? We've got that. Like it really just depends.
Exactly. Like I know there's like that website where there is a bracket website, but I tried it before and it took me too long. Like I gave up. There's too many songs. Okay, anyways, as I was saying before someone walked in front of me, maybe also Dear John from Speak Now. That one's really long but really iconic, very sad, very dramatic. Red, pretty much all Red. We know All Too Well, the classic. The Moment I Knew from the deluxe version, that one's also a classic. 1989. I also have this one on my phone. I don't think there's a bad song on that one either. Like Pop Perfection, she won a Grammy for it. Nothing really I can say about that. Reputation, love the little edgy songs. There's actually a lot of good songs, but people just didn't think about that because they were like only focused on the singles, which a lot of the times the singles are not the best songs, so it makes her look bad. But you guys need to listen to the other songs that aren't her singles. Lover, love them. And then Folklore and Evermore. When Folklore came out, I was like literally laying on my bed that morning, and it was raining, so I was, like you were saying, I was crying while I was listening to it, just a little bit. But then I was like, damn, like I wasn't ready for that. But she knew that I needed it, so shout out to her.
See, like when I first listened to folklore, like I wasn't in the emotional state. Like I was having a good time because it was like summer. I was on vacation the day it like dropped. So, I mean, even though we were in pandemic, but I just like went to my friend's like river house with her family. So like we were chilling, we were having a good time. And like me and my friend, her name is Morgan, we listened to it and we were like, we're just not feeling this right now. And then a few months later, I was playing it in the car when we were hanging out, and she was like, not gonna lie, I love the album now. I was like, me too, because we both like we just weren't prepared for it when it first came out. But then like we like it grew on us, and I was like, this is some like amazing work, like top tier. I didn't know that she could like outdo herself, but she did it yet again. So proud of you, Miss Swift.
Yeah, like she really just changed genres like 3 times and she still did it well. And like literally everyone I know was talking about that album, even if they weren't like fans of her before. They listened to it and they're like, oh, it's actually good. And I was like, yeah, that's what I've been saying this whole time. But yeah, sorry if you can hear the birds. It's really loud, but let's see, what did I have next on here? Oh yes, the re-recording. So, Ashley, how about you give a little explanation of why she's doing re-recordings?
Right. So basically, because the whole music industry, well, not the whole music industry, but Big Machine and all them messed everything up. So what is his name? Like Scott Borchetta, is that his name? Yeah. He was like selling her albums, and instead of selling them to Taylor herself, he sold them to Scooter Braun. And like basically she didn't have the rights to her own like music, and it was really messed up. And she like, I remember there was like she wanted to perform her songs, and like she couldn't perform her own songs without permission, and like this whole big deal. And it was really messed up because it's like she wrote these songs and she like wrote the music and lyrics. So like she should have the right to do with that what she wants, but because like they were technically owned by someone else, like she couldn't do that. So it was kind of messed up, like a backhanded deal that like she couldn't even get her own music back. So now she's re-recording um her first 6 albums. So yeah, to them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't know why she chose to do this one first, but I mean, it was a very popular one, so I think it makes sense for her to get people nostalgic, I guess, because a lot of people do know the songs on Fearless. So,
Yeah. And
you know,
she has to wait a certain amount of time before she's allowed to re-record. So like I forgot what the exact time like amount of time was, but it's like she has to wait like a certain amount of years after the original release of the album to be able to re-record it. So that's probably why she started with Fearless, because it was like she was able to do that for that album already. I don't know. But I don't
that's
know why
true.
she wouldn't start with like the debut album. Like I don't know.
Yeah, like that's what I was saying. Like
Yeah.
maybe she thought that more people knew the songs on Fearless, so that's why she decided to go on first. But I don't know. I guess it's up to her. So
I don't know.
whatever. Yeah, but how did you feel when you were listening to it? Because I had a lot of emotions.
I feel like I mainly felt nostalgic, but also like a lot of the songs sound like, I feel like she really tried really hard to make it sound like the originals. Like she changed her voice a little bit. Like you can tell that she's older, but like she had a little bit of a country twang in like some of the songs. So like I feel like she really tried to give the fans like something they could listen to that was like the original, and she didn't want to change it too much. And I liked that because honestly, like if she had changed it too much, I would have felt like, oh, like I still kind of want to listen to the originals because that's like what I grew up with. But since they sound like so similar, I'm glad like I can delete all the other like I can delete the old album because I do not want Scooter Braun profiting off of my listening. So yeah, also if you haven't deleted the old album, go ahead and do that because yeah. Anyways, but I felt nostalgic, and then there were just some lyrics that like developed so well over time, and like I've listened to Fearless like this whole time. It's not like I'm just now listening to it again. Like I put Taylor Swift on shuffle all the time. But like just hearing her say it like again, like some of these lyrics, like in 15 when it says, but in your life you'll do things greater than dating the boy on the football team, but I didn't know it at 15. I was like, girl, and you didn't know you were gonna end up like being the whole music industry. And it's like just crazy how you can see like her own development and like how she has changed like in her career, and like going back and re-recording these songs. It's like, wow, like she's come so far. I love it.
Yeah, I think a lot of the same things, but like it's been like what, like 10 to 15 years since that one came out, and like picturing her in a studio like re-singing these songs, but like with her matured voice, her adult voice, but still like thinking about things that happened to her when she was in high school, that must have been like such an interesting experience. I mean, even for the listener, we were like, wow, she's really come so far. Like, this is so weird, but also at the same time, it was like comforting because like even after all that time, she's still the same, and like we're still listening to the same music, and we kind of grew up with her. Like that's what I felt like. And then like how you were saying the line in 15, but also like in Change when she was like, these things will change. I was like, they really will, and they did. And then I don't know, just like being able to like be a part of this journey, I guess. Um, yeah, it's just nice to see like all these people that I didn't think were fans of Taylor. Like I was on Instagram and everyone was posting about it, and I was like, wow, like this is really a big part of our childhoods, and it's coming back right now, and it's very weird, but it's also very nice to see.
Yeah, definitely. And like there's gonna be a whole new generation of Swifties out there. Like I remember, okay, this is crazy. I remember I was playing Taylor Swift for like, I don't know, these like the little sisters or someone I know. And like they did not know the old Taylor Swift songs. They were like, oh, play some Taylor Swift. And I was like, all right, shuffle. They did not know the old songs. They were like, what is this? This is not Taylor Swift. I was like, honey, what? You don't know this? So now these kids will be out here knowing the OG Taylor Swift, like, because I guess it makes sense because like they weren't around when those first came out. So like why would, I don't know, like why would they be listening to it if they're like literal children? But now these kids will know the history behind where Miss Taylor Swift came from, because like we have come a long way, y'all.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I just coughed in the microphone. It's just like crazy to think about. I saw this tweet a few weeks ago that was like, I wish I was born in this era. And it was like literally the album 1989. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, like I was a teen when that came out. Like that wasn't that long ago. But then I realized that was 7 years ago. Like that is insane to me. And
No.
so,
What?
yeah, 2014. Yeah.
Oh, that
So
was
like
not
thinking
7 years
about,
ago. That was not seven
yeah,
years ago. Oh my gosh.
like thinking about how much she's done since even 2014. But then like her whole music career, it's so crazy to me.
It literally feels like
Yeah,
1989 came out like 3 years ago. What?
I know. And I remember like downloading it to my phone and playing it and being like, ooh, this is different, this is spicy. And then now it's like people are like, oh, this is a classic album. I'm like, what are you talking about? It wasn't that old. but it is to them because they're like kids, but you know, whatever. But yeah, what was your favorite re-recording from Fearless?
I think my favorite would have to be Forever and Always, the piano version, because that hit me in my feels. Like it was like it belonged on folklore almost. Like not really, but like because it was slow and I was like, this is low-key so sad. But yeah, I think that, and then also um The Way I Loved You, because I don't know, like it just hit different when I listened to it the second time, like, or in the new album, not like the second time, because I have definitely listened to it more than twice. But um like listening to it on the re-record, I don't know what it was about it, but I was like, this slaps. Because I feel like anytime I listened to Fearless before, I like focused on like Fearless, Love Story, You Belong With Me, and like, the basic like hits from the album. But like The Way I Loved You was very underrated. And I was like, wow, this is so good. And then we got the vault songs. So um, yes, Mr. Perfectly Fine.
We love that one.
Roast Joe Jonas again, honey. I'm here for it. I mean, I love Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner, but whenever Sophie Turner posted that on her Instagram story about her listening to Mr. Perfectly Fine, I was like, oh, roast him, honey. Roast him. Because wow, that is hilarious. And then You All Over Me, once again, emotional roller coaster. I loved it. It was great. So we have a lot of favorites.
Yeah. What you said about The Way I Loved You literally took the words out of my mouth. I don't think I appreciated it a lot before because, I mean, most people just know the singles, which is normal because, like, those are the songs that she releases. But something about her singing that, watching the lyric video, I don't know, I was like, dang, this is good. And then let me pull up the track list, find the other ones. The Best Day, a classic. I was watching that video about to cry with all the baby videos. Wow, like I wonder how her mom felt when she listened to that new recording. Like I probably would have cried. I mean, I teared up a little bit. Another one, Hey Steven, a classic. I was on TikTok and I saw this TikTok of someone's dad whose name's Steven, and he was like, this song is amazing. It's incredible. Why aren't there more songs about men named Steven? I was like, LOL. But shout out Taylor for making that man's dream come true. And then let's see what else. We got the platinum version tracks. Today Was a Fairy Tale, a classic from that movie. I don't remember what it's called. Valentine's Day, I think, with Taylor Lautner. Too funny. Um, yeah, Forever and Always is always good. The piano version had me in my feels. I was about to cry for real. And then for the vault songs, I think Mr. Perfectly Fine is also my favorite. But I also really like That's When with Keith Urban. Something about his voice just really works with the song, and it's catchy. Even though I don't know what she's saying, but it's kind of a bop.
You right, right. Also, speaking of like features, Breathe with like Colby Calais. First of all, I love that song from the beginning. And I don't know, just like the fact that like she's featured again on the re-record, like thank you, Colby, for being here. Thank you. Um, Loved it. I just love the whole thing.
Yeah, and I'm on the wiki page, and I think she like even had like her original. I think some of them she like worked with the original artists or I guess musicians, which is really nice. Like they probably felt really honored to be back there, like sharing this part of her life with them. Just wholesome, you know? And then let's see, what else? It's a really long track list, but like honestly, not a bad song at all. And I think the re-recordings just made me appreciate it more because like I'm not always thinking about like her older music because like it's in the past. But I mean, they're still good. Like I'll play it on shuffle a lot, but I'm not really listening to the words. I'm just playing it because it's music that I know. But getting to hear it again just, revives my appreciation for it.
Yes, it was like I don't know why, like, because I've listened to Fearless so many times, but like just the fact that like I don't know, she re-recorded them and it just hit me some type of way. And I don't know why, because it's the same songs that I've known all this time and been listening to all this time, but yet my heart was just like, wow, thank you for the nostalgia. Like, this is great. I don't know. I don't know why I had such an emotional response, but I did. And I don't know if it's just me like being like weird. I don't know, because like I don't know, just everything that Taylor Swift puts out, I'm like I'm ready for my emotional breakdown right now, like every time. So maybe I've just psyched myself out now to the point where I'm like, Taylor Swift, get ready for these emotions, like here we go.
Yeah, maybe like we sort of conditioned ourselves, like psychology, but also like I think just because it's been such a big part of our lives, like we associate it to like having a good time or like being a kid or like not having all these problems. Like we're just living in the moment, just enjoying the music. Wow, take me back, bruh. Okay, let's see. Oh, here's another question. What are you most excited to hear re-recorded, album or song? I think I have a few, but let me think.
I think for me, I'm most excited for like the re-record of Speak Now and Red because okay, Speak Now, I know every single song off of Speak Now, like the back of my hand, because I had the Target special edition CD. So yes. And then like I'm just excited for that because like I know that album so well. And then Red, like I don't know as well. Like I don't know the songs off of Red as well as off of like Fearless and Speak Now and like her other albums. So I'm excited to listen to that because maybe I'll like, I don't know, hear some songs that maybe I haven't listened to before or like that I just have listened to before but kind of like glanced over. So maybe I'll have a new appreciation for Red.
Yeah, I agree. I think, especially because so many, like, I wasn't really into her music as much until Red came out. Just like hearing the old stuff might be an interesting experience. Like, I'll probably be paying more attention and not just playing it for the sake of playing it. And I'll be like trying to listen for like, the subtle differences that were in the songs, but also like finally hearing what the lyrics are. Like I probably know them by heart, but I couldn't say them to you right now. Like I would have to be listening to it. But I was thinking about how like she's gonna re-record Reputation, and I feel like that feels so recent, but a lot can change in just like a few years. So that'll be interesting to see because I don't know. That album was like a surprise for everyone before Folklore, obviously, but I think it's an underrated album, and I want to see if she's gonna do anything different. Like I don't think it'll be drastic, but there's still gonna be like those little things.
Yeah, and I know I was talking to my boss and he was like, I'm excited to hear the vault songs for before Reputation came out because like she had to have another album prepared and then that whole thing went down. She was like, no, scratch that. We're gonna do Reputation. Like, here we go. So I'm like, but what was she working on before that? Like, I want to know.
Yeah, like didn't she? Didn't someone say? I don't know if someone said this or if I'm making it up, but I think someone said that there's like over 100 songs in the vault, which is an insane number, first of all, but also I believe it. I believe she has that many locked up. Like it just seems like something she would do. And I know she's always writing songs, so I wonder. Hmm.
That's crazy though. Like that's so many. Cause like she's already released so many. And then like to have 100 something more that she hasn't released. Bro, this is wild.
Yeah, I used to listen to like there's this unreleased song called I Lie. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I used to watch that YouTube video all the time. And there's another one, I Heart question mark. That's another classic. Um, but when she mentioned that she was releasing vault tracks, I was like, uh, so that means the songs that I listened to when I was 10 years old on YouTube videos, because they were never officially released, could one day be released. So we'll see. Maybe it'll be on the debut album, but yeah, I want to know because like she's shifted genres a lot of times. So it's like, did she leave out songs that could have fit a certain album for later, or like did she just scrap things because they didn't fit with the vibe that she was going for, or she just didn't like them as much? Like there's a lot of reasons why she didn't include things. But now that we get to see them, maybe we'll start to figure out why she didn't put them on or why she delayed them. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm also curious to see like is she gonna re-record Crazier and Safe and Sound? Because like those aren't on her albums. Those are like from movies soundtracks. So I don't even know if she's allowed to re-record those. But if she does, I'm here for it because Safe and Sound, bop. We love the Hunger Games.
We love the Hunger Games. If you haven't listened to that episode, do it. But yeah, Bob. Oh, also, wasn't there that other song? It was like "Keep Your Eyes Open." Oh my gosh, "Eyes Open." Also on the
Yes.
Hunger Games soundtrack.
Keep your eyes open. I'm sorry for my
Exactly.
terrible rendition of that.
But yeah, like literally iconic. Uh, love it so much. I don't know. Do you have any other thoughts on Taylor Fearless?
I think I just like, I don't know. My final thoughts are that I loved hearing all these songs over again and just like seeing the growth. Like, that's the main thing. It's not even like, oh, I like the songs. It's like, wow, like we have come so far. Like, and like I grew up with Taylor Swift. Like, I don't know. It's just like I feel like I've watched her my whole life and just to see like her start off at like 16 years old and like making country songs and you know then now she's like literally one of the most like acclaimed songwriters of all time and like the fact that she's lasted this long is crazy. So I'm just glad that I was a part of that. Like growing up, like I got to see that whole thing. So very thankful for this experience. Thank you, Taylor Swift, for inviting me into your life, even though you haven't really, but I feel that way. So
Yeah, what a great reflection. I think, um, yeah, I just have a lot of good memories associated with like listening to her music. Like I said, downloading it onto my iPod Touch, playing it in the car a lot, listening to 1989 for the first time from my phone that I bought with airplane miles. I bought the album with airplane miles, not my phone, but like just playing it for my family. And when Reputation came out, that was just very dramatic. But I was like, ooh, kind of like this. Listening to Lover in my dorm room in college, listening to Folklore on my bed, listening to Evermore on my bed. I don't know, just there's just a lot of memories that I connect to her music, and I'm I'm excited to make more with the new re-recordings and just see how she reinvents her own music, but not even like to make it like that different. Just but like still the differences are gonna make it special. And yeah, she's come a long way. I've come a long way. It's really weird that I'm almost 21 now, and we've been listening to her since we were like literally like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. And she's still out there. So who knows if she's ever gonna stop? Probably not, but I guess only time will tell.
Yeah, well, this has been a great discussion. I hope you all enjoyed our fangirling, because that is what this is. 100%. Like, we are basically in a cult. If you're a Taylor Swift fan, we are a cult, and I love it. But yes,
I don't associate with the racist people, but that's that's another story.
but also like ever since Taylor Swift has been saying stuff about politics, I'm like, y'all can leave. Goodbye. You're not
Yeah,
welcome here anymore. So
yeah,
I'm not
literally,
including that. I'm only including
exactly.
the girls, gays, and theys, and any woke men who also love Taylor Swift. So that is who I'm addressing here. We love you. Um, I'm here for you, man, and I hope your emotional roller coaster was as great as ours listening to the re-record. Yes, wishing you
Yeah,
all the best.
yeah. Please let us know if you have any other thoughts about the songs that we didn't talk about. We will definitely be recording more episodes when the other albums come out again because I'm sure we'll have a lot to say since
Yes.
we have a lot of opinions. But yeah, thank you for listening. And don't forget to check out our other episodes. Check out the Hunger Games one. We talked about Taylor in that one. Talked about her in a lot of episodes, okay? She just comes up in conversation sometimes.
Yeah, she's just always lingering there in the back of my mind. She's always there. So, but yes, please let us know what you thought about this episode and give us any requests for future episodes that you would like to hear. And we will see you next time.